All right, Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakahodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will well tell me this truth. And peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashar Gabar back to you again with another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right. And, seeing what's going on, all right, with this Israeli official, all right. And as you see in this article, in the title it says, what Israeli government official charged with soliciting a 15-year-old girl in Las Vegas. All right, and this person, this official who works right under Netanyahu, all right, was let go free. They gave him pretty much the free card, sent him right back to Israel. All right, and we know, if it's anyone else, all right, especially Jake, all right, we were thrown in jail, all right, for years. All right, even, dealing with deportation of these Hispanic tribes, man. All right, seeing what they're doing to them. All right, cases coming up with them get thrown off cargo planes. All right, and this is just for not having the citizenships, man. All right, thrown off cargo planes, washed up on the shores, alligator concentration camps, all that shit. All right, but here it is. This is a fucking criminal, pretty much someone who's supposed to be in jail. Get the let go free card. All right, but this is the fucking devil, man. Showing you that this system, is ran by these small hats. All right, Esau, Edom. So, and this is why the Lord is going to intervene. All right, He's going to take Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, who's going to put this devil down, man. And expose, him for all his wickedness. And judge him for his wickedness, what he's done, man. All right. So let's grab a few scriptures. All right, because I'm just going to get it. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they seldom say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. Yeah, so whose possessors slay them. All right, who's in possession of Israel, man. All right, possessors, man. All right, slaying Jake, doing all type of rape, rob, murdering, all type of shit, man. All right, just slaying Jake, but they hold themselves not guilty for doing this. All right, officers, police officers and shit, shooting Jake, sundown towns, hanging Jake, all type of shit, man. All right, that you don't even see on the news, or you don't see these people getting persecuted for, thrown in jail for. All right, they come up with their anti-medic, to hide and cover their wickedness. But the whole point is what they hold themselves not guilty. They get away with these things. Why? Why is that? All right, because the wicked is in rulership. All right. So what else we have? All right, even dealing with what Trump, the Jeffrey Epstein files, covering that up. All right, this the C-19, juice which was what figured out it had long-term effects, killing Jake, killing everyone, blood clots, all type of shit, man. All right, with side effects with that. All right, but there was no justice. All right, no judgment was given out. All right, for that, So let's grab this. The book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and they write grievousness which they have prescribed. Yeah. All right, and this is how the system is being ran. All right, and set up unrighteously, but with what? His unrighteous decrees, his laws, policies that he came up with, it's just not right, man. But hey, we've been telling, Jake this, for years, that this place is not ran righteously, man. You don't have laws. You don't have, that proper judgment. You don't have the equal rights. The same as this devil. All right. Hey, you still a slave. I believe what they say, you 3/5 of a man. So hey, these is what his tactics. His BS. Unrighteous decrees, man. Finding ways to lock Jake up, putting drugs, destroying the household, and then come back and give Jake 100 years, all right, for certain things. All right, but then when it flips on him, and he comes up with a solution, treatment centers, to get their people back right, who's on drugs, but he come up with a solution, all right, to help his own. All right, but for Jake, all right, they just slam Jake, throw him under this jail, man. So that's just what unrighteous decrees. Let's grab this. Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. Yeah. So what? Woe, destruction. All right, because the scripture says what the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, this is why he's able to bring forth wickedness. All right, and execute it and do it. All right, Salakia, I'm still at the plantation. Do something right quick. Let's see what we did wrong. Let's bring this back. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. Yeah, all right. And like I said, what the scripture also says what the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So this is why he able to, bring forth, that wickedness, all right. Want to depopulate, want to cause major deaths, all type of shit, running sex rings, pedophilia, and he gets away with it, Well, he practices it, he works these things up, You know, he sleep on it and he's able to execute it, all right, whenever he's ready to, you know. Why? All right, because what? The power is in his hands. All right, the Lord gave him the power to do so, you know, to run this place unrighteously, man. You know, all right, but all those tabs, all these wicked things that he do, you know, is adding up. You know, Esau Edom, all right, this devil, he's adding up that tab. He building it up, man. You know, all right, and this is why the Lord is gonna over destroy this place, man. You know, even in what Scripture says, what his own tongue shall fall upon themselves. You know, hey, he have his own people. You know, speaking out. All right, exposing each other. All right, Christians don't like JOOs. You know, these small hats. All right, and they speaking out about it. The shit that's going on with in Gaza. All right, pretty much just murdering, you know. All right, but he's getting away with it. All right, but he you know, through the Spirit. All right, we know his devil. He's not getting away with nothing, man. All right, he's gonna get judged. So let's see. The book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." All right, why is that? All right, because what? Hey, the wicked is in rulership. All right, he's not in trouble as other men. All right, you know, like I was just saying, hey, Jake get persecuted, Jake get thrown in jail, the key get thrown away. You know, and get forgot about. All right, get him 100 years. All right, for little things. All right, but when it comes to Esau Edom, you know, he doesn't get that same judgment. All right, showing you who's in rulership. All right, showing you that we're not equal. All right, this devil, he likes to, you know, act as if Jake just free, you know, and everybody's equal. You know, you're able to get a job, you know, you're able to get a career, you know, and live like us. All right, but it's not, you know, it's not like that. All right, this place is set up and designed, all right, for Jake, you know, to be foolish, you know, be an entertainer, you know, don't believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, live wickedly, you know, this is how they want you, you know. This is how this devil set this place up, all right, to keep Jake from knowing who he is, all right. So yeah, as the scriptures say, you know, they're not in trouble like other men, all right. But Esau, man, he's being exposed, man. So let's grab this, end it off with this, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." All right, the wicked is being revealed. All right, you know, and it says what? Whom the Lord consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And how he's being revealed. All right, you know, through the prophets. You know, a lot of these podcasts, you know, get their information, all right, from brothers, man, you know, all right, but it's through what? Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, gave brothers, you know, that breath, you know, that knowledge, you know, to put these things together, all right, to reveal who the wicked is, all right, who's falsely claiming to be, you know, the chosen, all right, all these things, man, all right, but the wicked is being revealed, man, all right, and the Lord is going to destroy them, all right, and the Lord is going to destroy this place, man, you know, so I'm ending it off with that. Noble in this video was edifying. Giving all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Till next time, say Shalom.